You've read the title. You know by now what's going on. Vince McMahon has stepped down as CEO and Chairman of WWE. Now, we are going to go through the statement that was sent out by WWE, comments from Vince McMahon, comments from Stephanie McMahon, details on why in a moment, and sort of what this means going forward. Stamford, Connecticut Business-wide. WWE and its board of directors have jointly released this following statement. WWE and the board of directors today announced that a special committee of the board is conducting an investigation into alleged misconduct by its chairman and CEO, Vince McMahon, and John Laurinaitis, head of talent relations. And that effective immediately, McMahon has voluntarily stepped back from his responsibilities as CEO and chairman of the board until the conclusion of the investigation. McMahon will retain his role and responsibilities related to WWE's creative content during this period and remains committed to cooperating with the review underway. The special committee has appointed Stephanie McMahon to serve as interim CEO and interim chairwoman. We have quotes. We have a quote from Stephanie McMahon in just a moment. But what has Vince McMahon had to say, Andrew?
Vince McMahon said, "I have pledged my complete cooperation to the investigation by the special committee, and I will do everything possible to support the investigation. I have also pledged to accept the findings and outcome of the investigation, whatever they are."
Stephanie McMahon also speaking on, now she's back in the fold. She stepped away about 10 minutes ago.
Absolutely.
Now back at the forefront. What has Stephanie said?
Stephanie said, "I love this company and am committed to working with the independent directors to strengthen our culture and our company. It is extremely important to me that we have a safe and collaborative workspace. I have committed to doing everything in my power to help the special committee complete its work, including marshalling the cooperation of the entire company to assist in the completion of the investigation and to implement its findings."
It goes on to say in the statement, WWE and its board of directors take all allegations of misconduct very seriously. The independent directors of the board engaged independent legal counsel to assist them with an independent review. In addition, the special committee and WWE will work with an independent third party to conduct a comprehensive review of the company's compliance program, HR function, and overall culture. The company and the board do not expect to have further comment until the investigation is concluded. Now, first things first, the Cultaholic podcast curse is alive and well.
Absolutely.
They recorded yesterday. This is massive. Obviously Vince McMahon will still, as they say, still be in charge creatively, but him stepping away from the board like this,
it's huge, isn't it? I think obviously he could possibly be starting to feel the pressure a little bit now at this point.
Well, I think with what allegations had come out and the findings, there was there was no way that you could continue to be Teflon McMahon in the face of all of this that was coming out. Something had to very actively be done. Wrestling Observer actually said that there was an employee within the company who said that Vince McMahon was set to address talent today regarding this story. Now, we don't know whether he still will be. I assume he still will be, if they haven't been addressed already.
Yeah, I think there's definitely got to be, with something as big as this, there's got to be some transparency with your employees, right?
There absolutely has to be. Also, from Wrestling Observer newsletter, there's a lot of conversations about Stephanie McMahon, who's now as the interim chairwoman. There's conversations that people tried to sort of bury her on the way out, metaphorically, saying that the timeline of this coming to light shows that Stephanie McMahon was aware of that this was about to happen prior to her taking a leave from the company, having her position quickly filled, and the Business Insider article categorizing her as not being good at her job as she left. It brings up the question, says Dave Meltzer, as to whether or not this knowledge in any way affected either her leaving or her being buried after leaving, of those two things, although those close to the situation do deny that. One person with extensive knowledge of that aspect of the story said they believe Stephanie McMahon being buried was a preemptive move to preserve the stock price. To the outside world, the idea of Vince McMahon's daughter and the heir apparent to the top position in the company leaving the company she's worked for her entire adult life would sound like something is wrong with the company. Heir apparent is an interesting use of the word there. So, I mean, Is this where Triple H comes back in?
It potentially could be. It potentially could be if Stephanie is, but an interim CEO chairwoman. There's definitely that very much alludes to the fact that once sort of these the investigation is concluded, that somebody else may step again into that role. It could potentially be Triple H.
If it's not Triple H, I think it's fair to say that the forerunner has been the man collecting the Infinity Stones on the board for the past few years. That would be Nick Khan.
Nick Khan, yeah.
This seems kind of like the final piece, really, to see Nick Khan take over the company completely. I can't. Could you? I don't know, because I don't see Stephanie McMahon as a full-time CEO and chairwoman for the company.
Especially not after she's just recently sort of, stepped down from the roles that she's been doing. It does seem obviously very sudden. All of this is very sudden, I think. But for her to step down from her roles that she was engaged with, and then all of a sudden being sort of thrust upon her, I assume. Yeah, I'm not sure if she would potentially want to continue in that role necessarily. That's a lot of pressure to be in that role as well, isn't there?
When you think of all the things like Vince McMahon, all the things that have been levied at Vince McMahon and the people around Vince McMahon over the last 50 odd years, that's, since he bought the company, from his dad, the one thing that sticks out is the steroid trial, and how, while all that was going on, not only did he come out of it, well, considering the mounting evidence, he was still on television week to week talking about the wrestling and stuff like that. So to go through that and numerous other stories and allegations, he's always remained where he is. That's why there is obviously a lot of weight to this story.
Yes.
Because the fact that we're sat here talking about Vince McMahon stepping down as CEO.
I think that's huge. As you were saying, he's been through so many things before and not stepped down then. So, the weight of this is nothing to be just sniffed at,
This, and obviously this continues to be a rolling news story. This press statement only came down about 15, 20 minutes ago. Not long ago at all. So no doubt there is going to be more to come out of what has become, as I said in the previous news video, the most bizarre season finale to Succession I've ever known. We'll keep you posted at cultaholic.com. One more time, our pretty, for someone like, I've been a wrestling fan all my life.
Yeah.
And this is an incredible headline to tell you once again. Vince McMahon steps down as WWE CEO and Chairman. Stephanie McMahon named the interim replacement. What a day for it.
What a day.
What a day for it. We'll have more news throughout the day, and the latest on this story, of course, as we get it via cultaholic.com. The podcast will be out of date.
Yes. Richard was saying the title of the podcast is already out of date. Fantastic.
Happy Friday. Keys.
Love you, bye.